Hi, welcome back, you beautiful souls. This is James, also known as the Owner Usurg, coming at you with a new what if. This is a what if that I've been thinking about for a couple months now, and I've been working on the power. I think I started thinking of this character's power set back in December, so I've been working on this one for at least a month now. And this one and another one that I had planned, if you are watching this and you've joined Discord, you'll know what I mean. Because I started working on another one about 3 weeks ago, because I wanted to create two what ifs. Initially I wanted to create a hero, an S-class hero what if. And I decided on doing Gypsy for the heroes. And this is the Gypsy from DC that is in the Flash TV series. And no, this isn't going to be what if Deku was Gypsy. This will be a Fem Deku of what if Izuku was born with a quirk that would awaken to be Gypsy's powers. Also, in this, there will be a minor plotline. So, that being said, let's get into our story. Unlike in canon, Hisashi is going to be in Deku's life. He's actually going to be the number 8 hero. And he's going to be the number 8 hero because he was involved in an accident when he was in college. And after the accident, his powers began to it kind of evolved, and he gained certain other abilities. Like for some weird reason, the doctors have ran bunches of tests on him, and they think the accident may have awakened an enhancement quirk that Hisashi had, and it exhibits itself in a weird energy that's within his cellular structure. Now he's able to breathe blue flame and control it at will. Basically, if he wants to burn somebody, he can, or he can just make them feel like they're on fire, but they're not actually burning. And he has also gained a slight resistance to flames that are not his. So basically, if Endeavor were to shoot him with his Hellfire, with his blue flames, it would affect Hisashi, but it wouldn't be like a major burn. Because Hisashi's able to withstand the blue flame coming out of his throat. The accident basically evolved his quirk, and if some of you know about the Flash universe in the Arrowverse, you will understand. You'll probably already know why. So we cut to around when All Might had saved all those people. The video that Izuku in canon's constantly watching when he's a little kid. This is when Hisashi becomes like a pro. He doesn't have a hero license, but after a talk with a certain someone, he does eventually get a hero license and actually starts work as a hero, and eventually becomes like the eighth most popular hero. but he's widely considered to be the second strongest hero in all of Japan, next to All Might, even though he's the number 8 hero. Because he, unlike All Might and Endeavor, he always tries to avoid media, but he's popular because he helped in the incident that All Might became famous for. So that being said, we cut to a few years, like a few years later, and Deku. She is born, and she's a normal, healthy girl, and Inko names her Izumi. And the doctors do run like blood tests like normal, and they tell Hisashi and Inko that she may have like her father's quirk, that she may have her father's quirk because she already has his quote unquote enhancement quirk in her cellular structure. But they don't know exactly how it will exhibit itself because it's not really doing anything. There's nothing that they can tell what it's actually doing for Izumi. So we cut again. Izumi is around 5 years old, and this is when Bakugo's quirk awakens, and she's like, "Oh, that's so cool! It's kind of like Dad's. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Dad. Like he has a fire quirk as well." Says Izumi to Katsuki, and Katsuki's like, "What do you mean your father's quirk?" And she's like, "Well, I'm not supposed to tell people, but my papa, he's a pro hero." And these are like little kids, so Katsuki doesn't really know who her father is because he's in the top 10 heroes, but not a lot of people really know about him. He's not like really known. Like I would say like the top 3 heroes are like the most known heroes, and they kind of drown out everyone else. So like All Might, Endeavor, Best Genius at the time, I believe. Like they're so popular that most people really focus on those 3. But it is widely accepted that if Hisashi was more friendly and he actually did interviews, he could very well be the number 2 hero in the country. But he also doesn't do that much hero work because ever since Izumi was born, he's done less hero work to really focus on like raising her because she has his quote unquote enhancement quirk, but the doctors don't know what her primary quirk is. Basically, they're assuming that this new quirk works in conjunction with the user's quirk. So they suspect that Izumi may awaken her father's quirk. Little do they know, she didn't get her father's quirk. So we then cut to about, let's see, so we cut to about 11 when Izumi is about 11 years old, and she's been bullied a lot. It isn't because she's quirkless, it's just because she's a late bloomer, and people, like a lot of the kids, know who her father is, and they pick on her saying, "Oh, your dad must think you're a disgrace for not like having a quirk yet, and you're so useless. You're so useless, Deku," says like a few of the kids, and so they started calling her Deku, like worthless, because she just has a worthless like enhancement quirk. from like what she's told people is like, I have my dad's enhancement quirk. And Katsuki, he's still kind of a dick, but he's not as brutal with the bullying with Canon Deku, because who wants to be known as the guy that's constantly bullying the quote unquote quirkless girl in class? And not only that, because of how smart Hisashi is, she's a smart kid. She's not like hyper intelligent like I'm doing with my super intent Deku, but she's smart. Like she gets like the top grades in her class all the time. And this is another reason why she gets bored. And they're like, you sure you don't have an intelligent quirk, you nerd, you Deku, you nerd," and stuff like that. So when she's about 11, Inko gets a phone call from the hospital saying Hisashi had been involved in an accident with a villain. So she rushes to the hospital with Izumi, and during during this discussion, Hisashi explains about he doesn't really like say it in front of Izumi, but he explains to Inko that the villain that he went up against, he just happened to be in the area when he heard stuff, and he had gotten hurt helping another pro out. And Inko's like, "What pro?" And at this moment, the pro walks in, and he's like, "Soul, so you're awake. Thanks for the help back there. If it wasn't for you, I probably would have been hurt a lot more than what I was. In any case, I need to talk to you about that villain." And yes, this is All Might. And so All Might explains that this is his arch nemesis, and he's always been a thorn in his side. And he's thinking Soul. And this is when Izumi, she comes back from like the snack machine, because Inko and Hisashi sent her to go get like snacks for herself, because mommy and daddy need to have a serious conversation. Because Hisashi was thinking like this villain may make retaliations, and he's a little worried for his family. So as Izumi walks through the door, she starts freaking out. She's like, "All Might, Dad, how do you know All Might?" And Hisashi says, "He's like, Mia, calm down, Mia. Yes, this is All Might, but you need to seriously be calm." So Izumi runs up to All Might, asking for his autograph, saying, "You're my favorite hero in the world. You're my favorite hero in the world, All Might. I can't believe I'm meeting you." And then she looks over at Hisashi, and he has a sullen look on his face, because his kid just said that another pro hero are their favorite hero. And then she kind of says, "Dad, you know you're my number one hero in the world. All Might's my favorite hero, though." And Hisashi kind of laughs at this, and this is when All Might goes to shake her hand, and Izumi screams in horror. She's like, "No, stay away, no." And everyone starts freaking out, and Inko runs up to her daughter, and Hisashi's asking All Might, "What'd you do? what did you do to my kid? And flames begin to like come out of his mouth, and All Might's like, I didn't do anything. And Inko's like, sweetie, it's okay. What's wrong? And Izumi just kind of looks up at All Might, and she says, Mr. All Might, who's Nana and who's the bad man? The real bad man. And All Might is completely freaked out. He's like, little girl, how do you know that? And she's like, I don't know. The moment I touched you, I saw something. I don't know. I just saw someone, and I could just see that the woman's name was Nana, and there was just like this really bad man. Like really, really bad man. Like I think he killed her. And All Might takes in a deep breath, and Hisashi sees like All Might's body language, because Hisashi does know All Might from his hero work. They've done a few team-ups before, so this wasn't anything new for Hisashi. He just happened to be heading home when he came across this. Just circumstance, like random chance of this happening. It could have easily been Hisashi went a different way home. So Hisashi asks, he's like, Toshinori, what's wrong? And All Might turns and is like, wow, I guess you caught that. You don't use my last name unless it's something serious. And All Might says, okay, well. He asked the nurses and the doctor that were there to kind of vacate the room, because this is a private matter. So then All Might goes in to explain who All For One was exactly, and he says, so young Midoriya, what? You know it's not nice to read people's minds. And she's like, I'm sorry, All Might, this has never happened before, and I don't know what's going on. I've never had this. And All Might, like Hisashi and Inko explained to All Might that Inko's a late bloomer, and they think her quirk may have just activated. So them being in a hospital, Izumi will get some tests run on her. But All Might, after explaining who Nana was and everything, because he pretty much has to explain one for all and why Izumi was probably seeing these visions or read his mind. And they're freaked out, and Izumi is a little worried, and she's like, is the bad man gonna get us? Is the bad man coming after us? Dad, didn't you fight him? And Hisashi comforts his daughter, saying it's gonna be fine, Izumi, and Papa will protect you. And after Izumi gets some test run, they find out that she doesn't have mind reading per se. Because she does go to pick up a pen one time to write something down, to write what she explains, and Izumi basically asked the nurse, is your son okay? And the nurse is freaked out by this question, and then they come to find out Izumi doesn't have mind reading. She basically can see, from what they think, she can see past events that are connected to certain things, certain people or objects that she touches. But they think that she may one day be able to see future events as well, because the way she describes these people and things that she sees, it's as though she was there. So, that being said, Izumi is going to have met All Might at a much younger age, just like in a few of my other what ifs. And this brings Hisashi and All Might closer, and All Might's very curious about Izumi. And well, he doesn't explain like one for all, like per se, but he explains that that Nana was his mentor and why one all for one is his nemesis. Gotta correct myself there. Didn't mean to say that. So All Might will help Izumi with her abilities, and so will Hisashi. And the next day, like Izumi comes like the next week because she has been out. While they run tests to try to figure out what the trigger for her quirk is. And they find out that she has to have skin to object connection with something. So they suggest that she wears like long sleeves and that she wears gloves, and because they figured because some of the stuff that she saw with like All Might is very concerning, and they are worried about her mental stability if she sees something like that again. Because she does have some trauma for basically seeing not like All for One killing Nana. So we cut to the next week, and Izumi, when she quits the school, kids start bullying her about having like a worthless quirk, and she says, "I don't have a worthless quirk. I I'm just a late bloomer." And they're like, "Oh, sure it is. And why are you wearing like freaky clothes? And what's up with the gloves, Deku?" Says Katsuki from a little bit of ways. And Izumi like basically yells back at him. It's like, "It's because of my quirk." And everyone like quiets down. And like a few of the kids like run up to her. It's like, "What is it? Your quirk came in? What is it? What is it? Is it your dad's quirk or is it your mom's quirk?" Like, because they do know like who Izumi's dad is, because she's constantly rebutted it, and she explains to like, because she does have a couple of friends, I would say, but they're like the nerds, and so her friends kind of run up to her asking her where her quirk is, and Katsuki hears her explain it to them, and he's like, "That's freaky." So over the years, Izumi's being trained by the number 8 hero and also the number 1 hero. So she will get like some hand-to-hand combat training, because Izumi does express that she wants to be a hero like her dad. And so All Might has offered to help her out, because he's very keen to see what her abilities could develop into, because of his interactions with his sidekick. At the time, Sir Night Eye, ability to see the future, and Izumi being able to see the past, may be able to see the future events of stuff. This is how All Might helps her. He basically introduces Sir Night Eye to them, and when he finds out about what Izumi can do, he's very keen on her as well. So when Izumi's not working with her dad on like hand-to-hand combat, in meditation, because he has learned that if he meditates, he can have better control over his flames, because he does have to constantly think about what he wants to do with his flames, or he could accidentally hurt someone. Because he can eat, like I said before, he can either completely burn someone or make them feel like they're on fire, basically incapacitating them. And when she's not doing like the training with her dad, she's working with Sir Night Eye on like control. And All Might is like shows up from time to time and gives her some few pointers and stuff. And so now we will skip to when Izumi when Izumi is 13, during one of her her training, one of her training classes with All Might, Izumi gets mad and says like, "Screw this, I'm going home." And when she starts walking away, something weird happens. A weird thing happens, and Izumi doesn't really see this, but then when she looks up, she's in her room. And All Might's left there like freaked out, and he immediately calls Hisashi up, and then Hisashi calls up Inko saying that Izumi disappeared, and they don't know exactly what happened. And Izumi's kind of like, she yells, and she's in her room, she's like, "What the hell happened? How did I get here? What?" And this is when Inko's like, "Izumi? Is that you?" And Izumi comes running down, and Izumi's freaked out, and she's like, "Mom, I was just with All Might, and all of a sudden when I looked up, I was in my room." And so Inko, like, Hisashi's on the phone with Inko and he hears this. So he tells Inko to sit with Mia and calm her down, because this is, she may have awakened other parts of her quirk. And so Hisashi calls up All Might and explains that they found Izumi, and All Might's like, "Well, I don't think I should be explaining what happened over the phone. I think it would be best if me and Sir I like sat down with your family, Hisashi." Or so. And so All Might and Sir Night-Eye do come over to the Midoriya's place that afternoon, because Night-Eye and All Might said that they had some things to take care of, but they were talking. Because this got All Might thinking that Izumi may be a good successor to his quirk, and because Sir Night-Eye has seen the personality that Izumi has, and he kind of thinks that she should get the quirk. Because this is before he meets I'd say this is before he meets Mirio. So when All Might and Sir Night-Eye get there that afternoon, they basically explain what had happened, and they kind of ask Izumi, like, what were you thinking before this happened? And she's like, "Well, all I was really thinking is, I wish I could just go lay in my bed. I'm getting sick of this. Like, none of the training, like, it's not helping, and I was thinking my quirk's useless, like I won't be able to be a hero like you, All Might. And I just wanted to lay in my bed and scream into a pillow. And they're like, and so Izumi basically learns that she can create portals from different locations, and after running some tests and everything, they figure out that she has to think about where she wants to open a portal to, and she can pretty much do it. And they've tested it with like small objects, basically doing it around like the room. And then they go to like Inko and Hisashi. Inko and Hisashi do take her to the doctors to like get her abilities evaluated and to redo like her quirk registration. Basically redoing her quirk registration because this is a new power and ability that had developed. So with that, she basically like the next day, because she comes in and a lot of the kids are like running up to her, and like a few like her friends run up to her and ask her where she's been, like they missed her yesterday, and she says, "Well, I I can make portals now." And Kotsky does come up and is like, "Wait, I thought all you had was like textile recollection." And because Kotsky has like come down, because he's like, "Well, she's not better than me, but she could become like a really good police officer with that ability. Basically, like she's investigating someone. She could probably use her ability to figure out if they're telling the truth or not." So he does have some respect for Izumi. So Katsuki does ask her, and it's like, "So what do you mean by portals, Mia? Or what do you mean by portals, Midoriya?" And she's like, so she basically creates her vibe portals, and she throws like a cup through it, and all of a sudden it drops from the ceiling. And they're like, "Whoa, that's so cool." And Kotsky gets a little pissed off about this, and he's like, "Have you been messing?" He basically comes up to her after class and kind of like yells at her, he's like, "Have you been hiding this from me the whole time? Have you just been laughing at me?" And Izumi is she's shocked by this. Like, she's like, "Kachan, how can you be so mean? I thought you stopped. I thought you changed. Like, you're still just a mean bully." And no, I didn't hide this from you. It's just recent. Like, it just happened like 2 days ago. I don't have good control over it yet, okay? So she's, and Kotsky like sees like the look on her face, and she starts crying. And like one of her friends runs up and basically slaps Kotsky, and is like, "How can you be so mean?" And Kotsky like begins to say, I'm sorry, Midoriya. I God, I'm really sorry, Midoriya. I didn't mean it like that. I was just, you've always been weaker, and now that you have that, I'm supposed to be the best one in the class. I'm supposed to be the strongest in the class. You're supposed to be the smartest. So he basically storms off. And when Izumi gets home, like, she's kind of crying, and Inko asks her what had happened, and she explains, and she's like, "Oh, that damn kid." Well, Izumi, he did apologize, so I would say talk with him. Maybe you had a misunderstanding with him. And so the next day, she basically puts a note on Katsu's desk, and he reads it saying that, "We need to talk, Kachan. after school. And if you're mean with me again, if you say mean things to me again, I'm not gonna forgive you. I'll stop being your friend. So we cut to the after school, and Izumi and Katsuki are on their way home because I would say Hisashi, like, he's still like a good-natured guy, and he would want Izumi growing up in a normal setting as possible. So that's why Izumi and Katsuki still go to the same school. So, like, Katsuki and Izumi, like, Katsuki's, like, is standing outside the school, and Izumi comes out, and he's like, Midoriya, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. It's just, I've always been the one that's stronger. I've always thought that I had to be stronger to protect you, but that ability that you have now, it's pretty damn amazing. In any case, Midoriya, I'm truly sorry. I really didn't mean to make you cry. I hope you can forgive me. And Izumi, like, kind of, like, starts tearing up again, and he's like, oh my god, crybaby, please stop. Like, I already feel bad. And Izumi, like, says, I'm not crying because I'm sad, Katsuki. I'm crying because I'm happy, because you have changed from when we were kids. You are a good guy. And Katsuki's like, don't make me repeat myself, okay? Like, in any case, it'd be stupid of me to, like, piss off the number 8 hero. And Izumi's like, God-chan, you know I don't care, I don't like being treated differently because of who my dad is. So Izumi then, she'll spend I'm gonna go over the next 2 years. So Izumi has learned to be able to control her textile recollection ability to where it just doesn't go off randomly. She can turn it on and off, but it's not entirely under control. Every once in a while, like, she will, like, get visions, and she has felt weird over these past 2 years because she's been doing a lot of training, and she's learned to create her portals. But to be more precise for later on, basically rifts in space. Like portal rifts in space. So she seldom, like, walks to and from school. She just, because of the nature of her ability, as long as she does it and has gotten in trouble for using her quirk in public. But she's never really late from class, and there's a few times when she's going to be running late, if she takes, like, the buses and stuff, she'll use, like, her portal and basically think that she wants to go to school and basically create, like, a portal with her hands, because she's learned if she actually channels the power through her hands, she can be more precise on where she wants to pop up. Because if she's just thinking about it and does it, she can pop up in a random area in the general location. So they think that she gets this part from her mother, but they can't really explain the other abilities. But they do suspect that it's probably something to do with Hisashi's quote-unquote enhancement quirk. So one day during this 2-year span, she's walking home, and she's with Katsuki, and they hear a loud scream, and Izumi and Katsuki turn around, and they see this truck that's gone out of control. And there's a little girl in the road. And without thinking, Izumi basically runs over to the girl, and she creates her vibe portals, a vibe portal on each side of her. Like, basically she's just thinking, it's like, please work, please work, please work, please work, because she doesn't have time to like actually grab the kid and get it out of the way. And she's like hoping against all hope for this to actually work, because it is something she's been trying to do, because she has had like a minimum distance that she can that she can really do this with. If it's within a certain distance, she can't make too big of portals, so only small objects and stuff she can put through within a certain distance. And she has been working on it very hard. And I would say this is about 4 months before the start of the anime. So all of a sudden, all Katsuki sees is Izumi running out. And so he begins to run too. And he's thinking, crap, creating explosions behind him, like unconsciously with his hands. Basically doing what he does in canon, using his explosions to boost his speed. And when Izumi gets there, she does like her portal things, but as she's doing that, this is when Katsuki basically grabs her, and has grabbed her and the little kid, and they go falling over, like they go moving like several feet out of the way of where the vehicle would be at. But as this is happening, the vehicle enters one portal and starts to exit the other. Basically, Izumi basically connected these two short distance to the size of it. And everyone like runs up to her and they're like, that's an amazing work and everything. And Izumi basically gets brushed up, and Katsuki's like, Mia, are you okay? And she's like, yeah. And then she's like, little girl, are you okay? And girl says, thank you, thank you, big sis, and basically runs over to her mom. And at this, like, Katsuki says, like, Mia, you have a, like, you have a cut on your elbow. And she's like, and Mia looks down and she's like, I feel fine. And collapses, and Katsuki catches her, and everyone's a little concerned about this. Katsuki did pull his phone out and called Inko, called their number, and basically explained it. Inko's freaking out, and by the time Inko gets to where this incident is, police do stop her, and they're like, that's my daughter, and so they let her through. This is about when the EMTs are basically finishing up with Izumi, and they come, and so Inko walks up, and Izumi basically jumps up and runs to her mother and hugs her and says, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. I don't know. I couldn't watch that little girl die. And she basically looks over at Katsuki and she's like, thank you, Kachan. Damn it, if you weren't there and that didn't work, that could have turned out a lot worse. And so the EMTs explained to Inko that she wasn't seriously hurt. She has superficial scrapes and scratches from the fall hitting the asphalt. And they're saying she probably just overexerted herself. So with that, Inko gets home, and Izumi is a little concerned. She's like, Mom, I'm really sorry. Please, I'll do anything. Just don't yell at me. And Inko basically turns around and she kind of breaks down. She's like, Izumi, I'm sorry. I'm not mad at you. I'm just really worried. Oh, I was scared to death. Say when Katsuki-chan, like when he called and said that you'd been hurt. I was so worried. Like, thank God you're okay, and please don't do something like that again. Like, I don't know what I would do if I lost you. So Izumi begins to cry, and Inko and Izumi, like, they have like a cute little mother-daughter like moment. And when Hisashi finds out, he arrives a little bit later that afternoon, and when Inko tells him, he basically runs up. He basically picks Izumi up, and he's like, "That's my girl. That's my girl." And Izumi's like, "Dad, put me down." And Inko's like, "Sashi, dear, like you should be more stern with her. You should be just a little bit more strict with her. It's because of you that she did this." And Hisashi breathes out and he's like, "Yeah, fine, dear. Izumi, even though you did a good thing, you've got to be more careful, because if that didn't work, like your mother's probably already told you, we could have lost you, and I don't know what I would do. Like, I don't know what I would do if like you got hurt that bad." And so she basically hugs her dad and tells her, it's like, "Daddy, I promise I won't put myself in danger like that again. Unless I know I can do it." So with this being said, I'm going to end this here. This will be part 0 to what if Deku was Gypsy. And like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I will see you beautiful souls in the next video. I will also put a link in the description for the Discord.